So we're going to continue with our lectures on well-being and dive a little bit deeper into the meaning of well-being. So we can first distinguish between two approaches to well-being, one being the hedonic approach and the other the eudaimonic approach. The hedonic approach involves seeking the good life, so seeking pleasure, happiness, comfort, ease, all of these positive emotions, while at the same time avoiding what's bad. So avoiding sadness, discomfort, pain, anger, avoiding these negative emotions. The hedonic approach is about experiencing happiness itself, no matter what we can do to get there. It's just about being happy, how to really feel good in the moment and just avoid these negative feelings. The hedonic approach is different from the eudaimonic approach by way of its target. So the hedonic approach is more about this outcome of happiness, where the eudaimonic approach is more about the process. So eudaimonia refers to self-realization or self-actualization. And this sprung from Aristotle's theory of happiness and living well. Again, it's more about this process of achieving happiness, and it involves more of a complete and meaningful, purposeful life. It's less concerned with just feeling good. It's more about the process and way of living that can lead to a full and meaningful life. These two approaches to well-being are not completely antagonistic. They do overlap. And what I mean by that is that by living in a eudaimonic way, we can achieve the goal of hedonism, which is happiness. So what I mean is that by engaging in behaviors that are typically associated with the eudaimonic way of living, meaning engaging in self-reflection or self-realization, by thinking about what the meaning of life is, by having a purpose in life, by making sure we have positive relationships with other people. These eudaimonic ways of living can lead to happiness and positive emotions. We're not saying that happiness and positive emotions are bad. It's just that that's certainly not the goal of eudaimonia. The eudaimonic approach, again, is more about this process to achieve happiness rather than just achieving happiness by itself. So the idea is that the more you aim just for happiness itself, the more you aim just to experience positive emotions and avoid all the bad things in life, the less likely you are to live a deep and meaningful life, because you're sort of avoiding all of these bad things, and you're avoiding a lot of what's happening in your life. So I want to make the argument that by practicing yoga, we are engaging on this eudaimonic path to well-being, because by practicing yoga, we're engaged in self-reflection. We're engaged in contemplation that can lead to self-realization, or another term for self-realization is eudaimonia. So by practicing yoga, we're engaged in self-realization that can take us on this eudaimonic path to well-being. And by practicing yoga and deep reflection and self-reflection, the idea is that we're not just focusing on the good. We're not just taking this hedonic way of living. We're noticing and reflecting on both the good and the bad in our lives, which is certainly a more enduring path to well-being